Welcome back to part 3 of this playthrough, Dark Souls 2. Scholar. So, I'm gonna do Heides Tower of Flame, but before that, I wanted to get something over by McDuff, the blacksmith. I'm gonna give him some flame, he's gonna give me something else. You can use, if you fail that, you can use the fire longsword and descend attack the barrel. The dogs will most likely die and you shouldn't. Alright, let's just use one of these. I don't end up using them that much anyway, so it's whatever. I will get magic weapon here soon as well. Whoa, oh my good god. What is your problem? It's like you're trying to kill me or something. Come on, man. Hey, whose sword is bluer, huh? He actually has the cooler shade of blue. He has closer to great magic weapon. It looks a little darker. This one's more like light blue. This is like magic weapon. Yeah, this was pretty decent damage. The fire longsword is even better though, but I fancied using this for a little bit. Let's just use this ring for now. I won't use it that long. It's just that I find that, you know, since I want to spread my stats so uneven across the board to try and like show certain playstyles and stuff like that, I don't always have enough levels to be able to do that. So I'm gonna put on the covetous ring to try and give me a little bit more souls. Jesus. Also, for some bosses, I'm gonna have to summon NPCs, which means that you also get reduced amount of souls when you do that. Oh, there's probably a Twilight Herb. Yeah, that's the one. I think that's the item that he has the highest chance of giving you. But Lingering Flame and his machete can be pretty decent. I guess that's called a machete. It hits like a scythe, doesn't it? Sup, Lucatiel? Luca has very good fashion souls on her. she's wearing some decent armor. Some cool armor.
Don't hesitate to. You are an odd one. You.
All right. I definitely want to get some drops as well. That would be pretty ideal. Let's see. I have 2 rusted coins. I will use them, or I will at least use one if I remember when I get to Heides Tower of Flame. Right now I don't necessarily like want these guys stuff as much as I want the old knight or the hate knight stuff. Picked up a branch over by the pursuer. That's what I'm using here. But if you don't fancy fighting the sentinels, you can use it anywhere else. I won't fight the sentinels now though, not yet. Alright, this guy being where he is pretty shitty. Right, because he does that. I don't like fighting him over where he's standing though, that's pretty shitty. Seriously, that's what you do? Every time it's a dire situation, I end up guard breaking or jumping attack. It's ridiculous. I don't want to fight him there. I've fallen down so many times. And died. Wow, it doesn't do that much damage, does it? Let me pull this guy away from the barrel. That would be pretty annoying if he decided that he wanted to destroy that thing. These guys have a weird sort of way of moving when you hit them. That barrel right there, I don't really focus how I push it down. I just do it because sometimes I try to do it very, very careful and specific and it doesn't work. Other times I just push it and it does work. So it's whatever. If it doesn't explode, you can always use fire bombs, fire longsword, or fire arrows. I've seen people like literally be holding the fire longsword but not realize that they can use that to explode the wall. and they end up using a bunch of homeward bones because the barrel doesn't explode the wall like you just saw on the first try. Hello, McDuff.
Oh, why can't they all be this easy?
Shape up, I see. We got a wild one here. Call me names.
Oh, that's it, yes. That's the way. Dear flame, how brightly you burn.
I picked up the dull ember by the previous bonfire.
Flame, I smell flame upon you.
Hand that ember to me.
McDuff, the blacksmith. So, hand that ember to me.
Right now. You imbecile.
You've got, give me.
There we go, and then you can infuse weapons with them and stuff like that. I don't yet have anything to infuse with. You can also buy the Uchi katana from him. Katanas in this game are really good if you counterattack with them. They have 150 counter damage, the highest in the game. I think that's the highest. Lances have 160, or it says they have 160, but it's not true. They have 130. If a lance, being as strong and as poise breaking, I guess, of a weapon that is, if those weapons had 160, it would actually just break the game. So they actually have 130. It would be too much. 60% more damage when you're already doing a metric ton of damage. That's not fair. So I guess katanas are the ones that have the highest counter damage. Daggers, the dagger also has 150, doesn't it? Doesn't feel like it though. But maybe. So here's one of the Parma shields that you can pick up along with the Morning Star if you wanted to do that. If you wanted to early game have a shield and a decent weapon. But I don't recommend using that shield for blocking. It's not very good at all. Let's switch to this thing. Actually, I forgot. I need to go back to Majula, don't I? Need to buy the mace. But that's alright. Doesn't take very long. Heides Tower of Flame looks really nice though. It's a nice looking area. Very fun to PvP here. What's up, buddy? You wanna die? You did. Let me go back to Majula right quick. And buy the mace from Lenigrast. The mace is the weapon that is well known for being really good in the beginning because a lot of enemies are weak to strike damage in the beginning of the game. And many of the bosses are also wear armor. So we shall do so. And I'm also gonna upgrade it to, I don't have the shards. +2, but even if I had a +3, the results would be the same of what I am about to show you. Look at this guy, Jester Murakumo. This guy knows what he's doing. I like seeing people's build at the bonfires. So that's the player right there. Alright, so let's see. I want this weapon. This is gonna be a counter attack, but I did 422 with this thing. Let's make sure it's a counter attack with the mace. Remember the mace is +2, 356. Maybe that was not a counter, let's see. 422 I did with the stock craftsman's hammer. 358. 325. Why did you do less all of a sudden, big man? Maybe the sweet spot. We'll test it again against the next guy. Crack the blue eye orb. I guess I can do the Hate Knight. Let's do... Whoopsie. Wakey, wakey. Although doing a counterattack on this guy is a little hard. What then? Don't do that. Do the thing. You know the thing we discussed, you and I? Alright, so here we go. 203. That is not a counterattack. 185. So the mace does significantly less damage than the craftsman's hammer. Now, the reason people use the mace is because the scaling of it. But I don't understand that, because early game you don't have 40-50 strength, and even when you do, the craftsman's hammer and the mace are very similar weapons. 422 there. The craftsman's hammer and the mace are very similar weapons, which means that once you make your character proficient to be able to use one, you're also making it proficient to be able to use the other. And these weapons, right? I just feel like the craftsman's hammer is a direct upgrade. It has higher starting damage, 166. This thing weighs 3 units, and it has 166 damage, right? It weighs, or it does 130 counter damage versus the mace's 120. It has 80 durability versus the mace's 60. It's just all across the board, and not to mention the one-handed, the two-handed moveset is the same, but the one-handed moveset is better for the craftsman's hammer, especially the R1s, or only the R1s. The mace has this thing here that's pretty shitty. Too little reach on it. This guy has slightly less defense than the others, so. Alright, come on then. 358. 422 was what I was doing with the craftsman's hammer. You got something to say to me, bro? With a counterattack. See, that wasn't a counterattack, so you see how it does less damage. Counterattacks are amazing. Ideally, you want something that staggers the enemy, or you want to avoid their attacks, because when you counterattack, that means they're also attacking you, right? And that's pretty shitty. Let's see if we can separate these guys. Hey, watch it. I want to kill the old knight by lonesome. Whoops, I thought I had the shield equipped. Alright, 358. And again, this would still be the same. Maybe that wasn't a counter, I don't know. This would still be the same if the mace was +3. The craftsman's hammer would still do more damage. But it looks like the sweet spot, or I mean, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It's doing less damage sometimes for some reason. Damage does vary in Dark Souls depending on your sweet spot, as well as the whether or not you hit with a counterattack. I don't like counterattacking the Hate Knights because you need to be so close that they will mock me up. Come on, don't you test me, bro. No, I meant to two-hand it. Damn it, Craig. Whatever, I'll use the dagger then. It does, the craftsman's hammer requires higher stats to use though. But you should always use it with, most of the time you should two-hand, ideally. Alright, let's go kill the dragon. If you kill the dragon rider, then the Hate Knights will spawn, will like stand up. I like to just not deplete my stamina when I walk across there, and try my best to get it as you know, quicker than the dragon. If you do this early as the cleric, you only have 3 endurance, remember, so it can be a little bit difficult with that guy in particular. But it's, you know, you barely have enough time to make it across the bridge regardless. Alright. 144 plus 78. I guess, let's see. 237. So the craftsman's hammer is doing more damage when the mace is +2. But it's not taking into account the counter. Right, Orenstein, I'm gonna fight both of the bosses in this episode. Because it's, you know, it's doable. Let's see, I'll just use this. You know what? I'm gonna actually use another aromatic ooze. No big deal, big man. Let's go. What you got? This guy can hit 4 times sometimes. 50% of the time, it works every time, you know. So it's one of those scenarios. Rah. Oh boy. Oh yeah? Well, I got something. No! God damn it. The energy save. You can't see that. The recording doesn't pick that up. But my TV, after like 4 hours or something of being on, it gives me the energy saving thing. And that's a big box that pops up in the middle of the screen. That's ridiculous. I mean, I could probably turn it off, but... Oh, almost got me there. You can also parry him, but it's not very useful to parry. Whoops, I thought I had an Estus. Because you can't really get anything for it. Estus in this game is so long. I don't know if that's actually based off of adaptability. I've heard that it is. But I tested it once and it didn't really feel that way, but I guess maybe I didn't do it very accurately, you know. Let's go here that we're a transient being. We'll never make a knight of the blue. Be gone.
This is no place for one such as
He
you.
has really cool armor and a
Be
halberd.
gone.
It's really wicked. You need a token of fidelity, which means you have to help out someone defeat a boss. That's probably, you know, why that guy in the bonfire had his summon sign down. So that he could potentially earn a token of fidelity. But the second bonfire in the Huntsman's Copse, you can make a jump to get a token of fidelity. It's like if you're playing offline, then you can do that. If you don't happen to have anyone summon you, basically. The same thing you can do with a token of spite. Look at this area. It's beautiful. It looks, or it gets really difficult in NG+. A bunch of phantoms start spawning, you know. The more old knights added to the level. And the enemies just do an absurd amount of damage. It's absolutely out of this world. Did I pick this one up? Yes, I always forget if I picked it up or not. So I'm gonna do the cheese strategy against the Dragon Rider. Because first off, I'm gonna fight him 2 more times throughout the course of the game. And also, like, you're not really missing out on anything. Most of the bosses in this game are quite similar in the way you're supposed to fight them, so it's okay. I think it's worth learning that strategy as well. What's going on? That's an NPC over there. Whoa, why'd you stop running? Alright, let's take our friend out over here. I'm not fighting you over there. You come to me, bro. Oh. I'm fumbling with the controls, man. This ring is not very useful, or like to me it's not very useful. I don't die that much in this game, but it can be useful for new players if you happen to die quite a bit. Alright, so I enter on the right side and then I count his steps. 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can make him fall off because he always starts off the fight with that attack, with the stab attack. And now that I have the coveted silver serpent ring, I get even more souls, which is amazing. I normally wouldn't use that ring because I don't like to get out of the range of players.
Are you from these parts?
Because I like to co-op a lot,
My name is
or as much as I can with players, like randoms, basically.
Do I need my preceptor? And such is my only wish. Sometimes I it's it, and being out here, I expected this cathedral to be bustling.
Tell me about the people
But
you're
there's
gonna help.
hardly a soul to be found here. Without any goings on, I'll have to move soon. To a place I could gull the...
You could what?
Sorry. Help the gullible.
Ah, by teaching the good word. She's a trickster, that one.
May the power of...
I'm gonna buy Force from her though. That's my favorite spell in the game. Overall favorite in the game. I just think it's very versatile and it's fun to use for breaking vases and urns, vases and stuff. Fatty ahead. Yeah, he blocks the door. The weight's blocked up, you see. This guy does do a lot of damage if you get hit by him. He has the least amount of defense though, out of the old knights. And there you get the halberd. 54k souls and a few extra to boot. I'll use the... Do I still have the last giant soul? Yeah, I'll use that one. His weapon is totally not worth it whatsoever, so I'm not gonna even attempt to bother. Because yeah, you know, parrying is all about knowing the opponent's attack and pattern, but unfortunately in Souls games, or in all games really, lag is such an issue when it comes to online. I have very good internet, but it doesn't really matter because I've been playing GTA, for example, a lot, and so many times in that game I will be behind people, or like I'm not seeing what my screen is displaying, even though I have a Series X, but I'm playing on 1080p 60 FPS. I can't record in 120, so I have to play at 60. But you know, 1080p with a powerful console, as they say, and I have 1000 megabits in and out internet. Yet BS still happens where I'm like behind people, or they're not exactly where they're showing on their screen, because other people's internet and equipment or whatever matters. So parrying in this game, I can very comfortably do it against the majority of enemies because I've learned their attacks, because there's no lag. But if I start doing PvP, then that becomes extremely difficult. And you know, a big weapon such as a greatsword, like the greatsword, not greatswords like the bastard sword and stuff like that, but you know, the ultra greatswords, it's easy to parry that on reaction because it's huge and it takes for bloody ever. But you can't do that because of lag. So if lag wasn't in this game, it would be extremely different. Extremely different. I only have 2k souls now. Bone dust, okay. But yeah, that was it. In the next one I'm gonna do No Man's, and I'm actually gonna wear a little bit of armor there because there's a lot of enemies and they hit quickly. So thank you for watching this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.